stop sacrificing what is permanent. That's what the church at Corinth was doing. They were sacrificing what was permanent, love for what was passing, spiritual gifts. So they would sacrifice their love for one another in order to show off. Come on. They were sacrificing what was permanent to satisfy what was passing. Because even if you do go off and say what you want to say, it's only going to feel good for about the 5 seconds it takes you to realize that now you got to spend 5 days recovering from what felt good for 5 seconds. Was the 5 seconds really worth it? Passing versus permanent. So this is an odd story to connect with 1 Corinthians 13. And I'm going to tell you right now, the way the Lord showed it to me was a principle and a picture. The principle is, stop sacrificing what's permanent to satisfy what's passing. Okay. The picture is a man named Naaman, who was a great general of the army of the enemies of Israel called Aram. Ben-Hadad too was the king, and Naaman was his man. Naaman was a great man. But now I'm going to stop right there and preach. He was a great man, but how many of you does that describe in one incomplete sentence? I'm a good person, but I'm a Christian, but well, he was a great man, but he had leprosy. Leprosy was an incurable skin condition. Of course, you've heard of leprosy, but in this time, it's hard for us to imagine the cost of carrying that condition. Not only was it incurable, but it was completely isolated. So what is it like to be a leader who was also a leper? He commanded men, but he could not cure his skin. There are conditions in the room that confound you. You cannot understand how you can be so adept at business and so detached emotionally at home. You do not understand how you can be so good at getting everyone else to connect with you, except the ones you love the most. You cannot understand why it has been possible for you to discipline one area of your life, but not get that one under control. He was a great man, but high position leprous condition. And into this juxtaposition of his realities, which are both very real. The Bible says there was a little girl living in his house who one day, perhaps seeing him change out of his armor, noticed the spots of leprosy beginning to spread. In fact, the Bible says it was a spot, so they caught it early. The little girl didn't have the audacity to say it to Naaman, because she was an Israelite, actually taken as a slave to serve in the house. So it's uncommon that she would be the one to voice this idea, but she did. You might be surprised who God will speak through in your life. She said, if it were possible for Naaman to go and see the prophet Elisha in Israel, he could cure him. Elisha is amazing with miracles. He helped a widow who was about to sell her sons into slavery with just a little bit of oil. He once called for rain during a drought, and water came when he spoke the word of the Lord. If Naaman could get to Elisha, it would be amazing. So Naaman did it. How hard would that be? How hard would it be to go to your enemy for help? He had to humble himself to do that. He makes a journey of about 200 miles. didn't just make the journey. He had to go to the king and get a letter from the king to take to the prophet. Because you can't just show up and demand healing. The king said, "Sure, I'll write you a letter." The letter said, "Would you have your prophet heal my commander?" So Naaman makes the journey, and he loads up. Naaman left taking with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and 10 sets of clothing. He was traveling heavy. When the letter reached the king of Israel, the king tore his robes and said, "Am I God? Can I kill and bring back to life?" In other words, the king was saying, "This is impossible." But when Elisha heard that the king had torn his robes, he sent a message. "Why have you torn your robes? Have the man come to me, and he will know there is a prophet in Israel." Turn to your neighbor and say, "It's not hard for God."
Naaman went with his horses and chariots and stopped at the door of Elisha's house. He thought, "I'm about to get my miracle. I traveled 200 miles. I brought gold. I got a letter from the king. It was all worth it." He imagined how it would happen. Elisha will come out. He'll wave his hand. He'll say something spiritual. The spot will disappear. But instead, Elisha sent a messenger. The messenger said, "Go wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan, and your flesh will be restored." But Naaman went away angry. He said, "I thought, that phrase right there blocks many miracles. I thought he would surely come out to me. I thought he would wave his hand. I thought it would happen differently." He had it all planned out, but God didn't do it the way he imagined. Sometimes you ask for the prophet and what's his name answers the door instead. Naaman said, "Who are you?" The messenger replied, "It's not important who I am, it's important what the prophet said. You need to wash." Naaman didn't want to wash. He wanted God to wave, and I came with a word for somebody today. You've been waiting for God to wave over your situation, but God says,
I already waved.
now you have to wash.
Tell somebody.
You've got to wash. Some things God is not going to wave away. Some thought patterns you have to work through. Some habits,
You have to surrender.
some healing.
Requires a process.
Sometimes God doesn't do magic. Sometimes God gives a method.
There is a process. There is a protocol. There is a prescription.
The question becomes, are you mature enough that when God doesn't do magic, you will still obey the method that produces the miracle? Naaman was about to walk away because,
I don't want to.
but healing was permanent.
Washing was passing.
So which matters more? Give up what is passing.
Your pride to receive what is permanent.
Naaman said, I thought he would wave over the spot. Then he started comparing. Are not the rivers of Damascus better than the waters of Israel? And he turned to go back. But when you turn back, you can never get better. The hardest part isn't always what's ahead of you. Sometimes the hardest part is letting go of your expectations, letting go of what you thought God would do, letting go of old patterns. You are not blocked by what's ahead. You are blocked by what's behind.
Naaman's servants came to him and said,
My father, if the prophet had told you to do something great, would you not have done it?
how much more when he simply says,
Wash.
and be cleansed?
Think about all that had to happen to get him there. The servant girl had to see the spot.
The king had to write the letter.
The journey had to happen safely.
Everything lined up.
And now, you traveled all this way and won't take 7 dips. You came too far to quit. God arranged too much. The hardest part is behind you. You're standing at the door. All you have to do is dip.
It is not what God is calling you to do that is stopping you.
It is what is behind you.
It is your expectations.
It is your old thinking. The Jordan River wasn't difficult. The difficult part was, I thought. Naaman thought it was beneath him. But God often brings us to moments where we must let go of something passing to receive something permanent. Naaman had a permanent problem, and God gave him a passing instruction. Finally, Naaman obeyed. He dipped himself in the Jordan 7 times, and his flesh became clean like that of a young boy. When I was a child, I thought like a child. But when I became mature, I put childish ways behind me. God took something that looked permanent and turned it into something passing. Hear this. It will pass. What you're carrying right now, it will pass. The pain, it will pass. The fear, it will pass. The confusion, it will pass. Fix your eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. God brought you to this moment for a reason. The hardest part is behind you. Now, take the next step. Dip, obey, trust God, and watch restoration come into your life.